Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. A Saskatchewan judge, has granted the release of the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada at a bail hearing in Swift Current earlier today under several conditions. Sierra D'Souza Butts has more.
After reluctantly agreeing to more than a dozen release order conditions, Romana Didulo was granted bail here in Swift Current.
Grand rising, everyone.
The self-proclaimed Queen of Canada appeared in court Monday morning for her bail hearing. The Crown asked a Saskatchewan judge for Didulo to not be released from police custody, raising concerns of public safety and issues of protection. During the proceedings, Didulo represented herself, despite the court recommending she hire legal representation. Didulo told the court she has no criminal record, adding she did not breach her undertaking conditions when first arrested by police on September 3rd. The judge decided to release Didulo on several conditions, including no direct or indirect contact with Ricky Mans and two other people, Mans being the owner of the decommissioned school in Richmond, where Didulo's Kingdom of Canada group had been living since 2023. She's also barred from being within 50 kilometers of the homes of people she has no contact orders with, and from being within 50 kilometers of Richmond. The judge approved of her residing with a friend in Regina in the meantime. Other conditions include being prohibited on possessing any weapons or imitation weapons and not communicating through the group's Kingdom of Canada website.
Quite a bit of time going over those conditions, and certainly our concern was that she know what the conditions are and that she'd be willing to abide by those conditions, and that was something that the court went through. We can never predict exactly what a person will do, but we trust that she will abide by those.
In choosing to proceed without a lawyer and defending herself, Didulo also opted in to have her case be heard by a jury. She will be back in court on September 17th for a preliminary trial. The Crown also said they are expecting more disclosure in the next few weeks. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Swift Current.
A 55-year-old from Christopher Lake was killed in a rollover near Emma Lake on Sunday morning. Police were called to Highway 953 before 11:30 a.m. along with paramedics and firefighters. The driver and sole occupant of the vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. His family has been notified, and a collision analyst is investigating the incident. Also, a 26-year-old man dead after the ATV he was riding collided with a vehicle. It happened Saturday night at about 9 o'clock on the Pelican Lake First Nation. The victim died at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle left the area, and RCMP are trying to find them. Saskatchewan's Vaccine and Infectious Diseases Organization has signed a partnership extension with the International Vaccine Institute in South Korea. The Minister of Trade and Export Development witnessed the signing during his trade mission to South Korea. He says working with international partners like IVI ensure the worldwide impact of VIDO's expertise. The partnership is focused on post-pandemic global health. VIDO has been collaborating with IVI for more than 20 years now. IVI says with today's global health challenges, it's necessary to team up to progress towards safe, effective, and affordable vaccines around the world. Prairie Harm Reduction has launched a fundraising campaign to keep its doors open. This on the heels of a new overdose alert issued for Saskatoon. The Ministry of Health issued an overdose alert over the weekend for Saskatoon for a substance described as green, brown, and flaked. The alert says a substance tested at Prairie Harm Reduction was found to contain fentanyl, xylazine, and benzodiazepines. Shortly after the overdose alert, Prairie Harm Reduction announced a campaign intended to help the organization maintain operations.
We have $160,000, and that's all come from private donor groups and foundations. We need another $300,000 to ensure that the doors are open every day.
Emergency services have responded to hundreds of overdose calls in recent months. Prairie Harm Reduction says at least 20 people who have used services have fatally overdosed this year. A lockdown put into place earlier today on the James Smith Cree Nation has since been lifted. People were asked to stay inside and not to venture out into the community. A post on the community's Facebook page said precautions were into place as officials verified information. RCMP say a person was reported missing from the First Nation, but investigators were able to find the person safe and unharmed. The trial in Rosetown has picked back up for Soul Haider and Mohammed Musaim, who are facing human trafficking charges. The charges are in relation to a Bangladeshi woman who claims she moved to Saskatchewan under the promise of a place to live and employment from the accused. The woman, whose name is protected under a publication ban, previously testified to having her personal documents taken and being forced to live in a cold, unkempt basement while having her wages taken by the accused. Well, War, a little bit of almost smoke in the air, and I guess you're probably going to tell us why I'm picking up on that today, or is that coming from the north, or where's that coming from?
It looks like it could be coming from the north, also a little bit from the west coming in, and, you know, we saw a little bit of wind, which is contributing to that, but all in all, a sunny day in Prince Albert, and it looks like it's going to continue into the rest of the week. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
There was a sod-turning ceremony in Regina for a new memorial on the grounds of the Saskatchewan legislature. The new memorial will honor protective services personnel who lost their lives in the line of duty, including police, fire, EMS, and Canadian Armed Forces. The monument, located on Memorial Park Way, will serve as a permanent reminder of the sacrifices that can never be forgotten. It will be a central location for public safety responders to hold annual memorial services.
This is just a great way to provide a space for families, for colleagues, for loved ones, as well as for classrooms of students or the general public to come and honor those who have fallen in the line of duty. Our protective services personnel are a critical component of our communities. They're the ones that are running into the face of danger when the rest of us are running away from it.
Cost around $900,000. Construction is expected to be complete next fall. The government of Saskatchewan announced a new family physician residency seat to open in Yorkton next summer. Minister of Health Jeremy Cockrell announced the expansion of the program today in Yorkton. He said the new expansion targets growth at existing rural residency locations, and it aligns with the government's priorities regarding health care. Minister Cockrell is confident that this will address critical rural physician shortages. The mayor of Yorkton says it's welcome news.
The addition of a new physician residency seat in Yorkton is more than just an investment in training. It's an investment in people and families and in the long-term health of our region.
The province says salaries should help with retention, but didn't mention any specific government incentives. SaskPower is reminding farmers to be cautious during harvest season, especially given an increase in line contacts from last year. The company says there have been 219 farm-related contacts with power lines this year. That's a jump of 17% from this time last year. Farmers are encouraged to plan their routes and check the power line map, have a spotter when working near lines, and to retract or lower equipment when moving fields. Drivers are also reminded to keep an eye out for more farm traffic, including trucks and equipment on roads around the province. The memory of former NHL goalie and politician Ken Dryden was honored over the weekend in Saskatoon. A tribute was set up at the Harold Latrace Arena, home of the Western Canada Montreal Canadiens fan club. The club president and founder says Dryden's impact on the country extended far outside of hockey. He was present at several charity events associated with the club, and the six-time Stanley Cup winner left a lasting impression.
To children, to society, to community, and not just hockey fans, but to all people. His kindness resonated with so many people all throughout Canada, if not the world.
Dryden only played 8 seasons in the NHL, winning Rookie of the Year in 1971. He was part of the 1972 Summit Series between Canada and the Soviet Union. When we come back, Lyle returns to talk safety with Jasmine Pelchier, but this time it's about first aid classes available through Parkland Ambulance. Last week, we talked about how you can be more safe as school returns, but what about training opportunities so that you can help others? Jasmine Pelchier catches up with Lyle from Parkland Ambulance to find out more.
Parkland Ambulance has some safety courses coming up this fall. Could you explain what any of those are?
Well, basically for most of the public, they're going to see is a first aid and CPR class. We run them all the time. Every week there's one that somebody can register for. And it's not just back to school. So you're heading back to school, brand new job maybe that started this September or soon, and you need that course. But first aid is one of those things that I like to say it's always good to have. So to register for a first aid class, obviously call our office, 306-953-8350. That'll get you someone who can assist you with a class time that you can book into. We do have a bunch of professional responder courses like ACLS, Pediatric Advanced Life Support, and ITLS. Those are more geared for our physicians or nurses in remote communities, or certainly our allied paramedics as well. And again, same number will get you people that can assist you with registering for those. But I think most people need to understand that it's not hard. If you're a new mom at home, for example, maybe you had a baby this summer, or you're expecting and soon to have, simple things like, what do I do if my baby starts to choke? And that would be just like a panic. I can only imagine what it would be like for a mom or dad at home. Or your baby gets a high fever, because we're getting back to school and those flus and coughs and colds and all those little things that come home with all the kids all the time. And we're getting close to cooler weather where we're more indoors. Think about those safety tips, and you know, those are easy things that you can learn in a first aid class. But more so, if you're listening to us today, Jasmine, and you're got a group of moms at home, or you're from a church group or a group of somebodies, and you'd like us to come and present to you, give us a call. We're happy to come as a community service to do what we call first aid basics. So answer some simple questions that you might have as a group, give you some basic steps like, you know what? All you need is 2 hands to do CPR, because we can teach you to do compression-only CPR in like 30 seconds. It doesn't take much. You don't have to do about that breathing thing because it's a stranger or somebody you don't know and you're scared. Or little things like flus, colds, stuff to worry about for your family. Give us a call. We're happy to do that as well for the community, and so we'd love to talk to people.
Do you have any courses that are, geared towards the general public besides just, like the general first aid course? What first aid course? Is that an intermediate first aid, or what level are you guys teaching here?
No, it's actually basic first aid. All of our courses are standard first aid, CPR level C and AED. And that's the general course that you need for back to school, if you're heading for school for the first time, or back to work, starting a new job, or you just want some information. But we can also tailor a course to the community. So again, if somebody calls us and said, hey, I just want CPR, or I just want CPR focused to kids, we can tailor and customize a course for you. Again, calling our office, let our staff point you in the right direction and guide you through that process. But more happy to come out and speak to the community at any time.
How often do you get called out to groups to do those specialized sort of courses?
Well, actually quite a bit. We do quite a bit of community visiting out and about in the community, whether it's a church group, a mom's morning out group, a gathering of folks, a service club, those sorts of things. So on a regular basis, we're seeing people, and we're just happy to share some of that information and talk about whatever works for them. Maybe it's a workplace. Maybe it's a workplace that, wants a refresher on how to use their AED. Give us a call. Happy to do those sorts of community presentations and tailor them to fit your group, whether it's a 15-minute coffee break or several hours or days. We're going to work with you all the time.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope that helped prep people a little bit for this fall.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jasmine.
After the break, Laura's going to have the weather forecast for the week, and later the Hilltops and Regina Thunder do battle in Prairie Football Conference action. So a weekend of some cold mornings and not great afternoons, but are we going to get a little bit better here into the work week there, Laura?
It looks like we had a beautiful Monday, and it looks like those plus side temperatures are continuing, so some good news there. The average temperature for this time of year is about 19 degrees, and we saw 25 in Prince Albert as our high, and sunny skies, not a lot of clouds out there, so a pretty nice day in Prince Albert. And yes, John, it's going to continue. We are expecting a little bit of rain in the forecast, but it's still a little up in the air. I'll get out of the way, and you can take a look at that system coming through Saskatchewan, and with it bringing a little bit of rain rain, potentially some strong winds as well, and it is heading east towards Winnipeg, but our futurecast not showing anything for the Prince Albert area right now, just in that southern region. 7 degrees is our forecast for tonight, right across the board. A little warmer in North Battleford at 8 degrees, and a little bit cooler in Rostern at 6 degrees. Taking a look at our forecast for tomorrow, check out those temperatures. North Battleford, 28 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds. Spearwood, sunny skies, as well as in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, Rostern, Melfort, and Nipawin, all at around 25 degrees. So a very nice day for Tuesday. Tonight in Prince Albert, 6 degrees, moderate winds, pretty calm out there, and clear skies. And then into tomorrow, 25 degrees. Winds starting to pick up. You can see 10 kilometers an hour tonight, and then picking up to about 23 kilometers an hour into tomorrow. So slightly windy, but all in all, a pretty nice day. And a reminder, the average temperature for this time of year, 19 degrees. So we're really seeing well above that into Wednesday, where it could hit 30 degrees and a low of 12. So a beautiful week ahead, and then into 27 degrees for Thursday, Friday. A 30% chance of showers for Saturday. It might begin on Friday, but the modeling is still a little up in the air, and it's still just 30% right now. So things could change, but we are keeping our eye on that weekend rain forecast.
Well, Laura, there's some guys that probably wish it was raining over the weekend. The UBC Thunderbirds, they have a lot of rain out there in Vancouver, and they probably would have liked some, because the Saskatchewan Huskies put on a show for their fans for home opener weekend.
He's looking deep. He's got Weeb again over the middle. Top, he's got it. And Weeb will score.
Daniel Weeb caught 2 touchdown passes for 190 yards receiving, while quarterback Anton Ammonrud threw for over 400 yards, and the Huskies crushed the UBC Thunderbirds 51-14 at Griffith Stadium. Lucas Scott had 4 field goals for the Huskies. Saskatchewan's defense limited the T-Birds to -6 yards on the ground. The 2-0 Huskies will head to Manitoba this weekend. In Prairie Football Conference action over the weekend, it was the Saskatoon Hilltops against provincial rivals the Regina Thunder on Saturday at Mosaic Stadium. Both teams got on the board with a pair of safeties in the first quarter before breaking out the offense. Hilltops running back David Collins was the first to get on the board as he ran one in from the 2-yard line with the quarterback hanging out wide. The Thunder, though, responded with a 6-yard touchdown pass to take the lead late in the third quarter, but Collins was the difference maker once again as he scored his second rushing touchdown of the game, this time from the 1-yard line. That would prove to be the winner as the Hilltops improved to 3-1 with an 18-15 win over Regina. The largest co-ed softball tournament in the province was just held in Warman over the weekend. The Good Intentions Cup, which supports the Good Intentions Foundation, held the tournament in Warman for its 4th year. The Good Intentions Foundation raises money for local causes with a focus on wheelchair sports. The crowd was lively with on-site camping, a beer garden, and a home run derby to create extra atmosphere.
It's an event where everybody's here to have a lot of fun and contribute, because everybody understands it's going to a great cause. It's going to people that you see in and out the community, and it's going to help them out.
Anderson is hopeful that the event will continue for years to come, supporting accessible sports in the province.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Canadians walked for ovarian cancer awareness on Sunday with events held across the country, including here in Saskatoon. The Walk of Hope is held to raise awareness about ovarian cancer and to support cancer research. Event organizers say it is the most fatal women's cancer, but beyond raising funds in the community, it's also a chance to connect with others.
Could when you're diagnosed with a disease like ovarian cancer, oftentimes you feel like you might be the only one. Being able to connect with other people who've walked in your shoes and who are going through the same things, it's a real sense of community. It's a sense of hope. We're here raising money for research to hopefully one day eradicate this disease. And it's also a day to remember those that are no longer with us.
31 Walk of Hope events were held in cities across Canada. A new report shows over 50% of Saskatchewan nurses are considering leaving the healthcare industry. The NDP says the healthcare system is going in the wrong direction after 18 years of mismanagement from the Sask Party. The survey shows a 96% staffing shortage, which has led to longer wait times, with nearly 80% saying it's led to patients' health deteriorating. The NDP says the government has driven many healthcare workers out of the province, adding a provincial task force needs to be implemented.
This is a promise that the government made in the election. It's been 10 months, and the nursing task force hasn't happened yet. Why? I mean, another solution is signing the deal with healthcare professionals. A number of healthcare workers have gone 3 years without a raise. How does that show respect to your frontline healthcare workers?
The Saskatchewan Union of Nurses says it's alarming to hear those numbers, but more needs to be done to retain nurses in the province. CTV has reached out to the Sask Party for comment.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
So Laura, you're pretty tall. I guess I probably, not everybody knows that, but you're pretty tall. You probably played basketball, right?
Yeah. I'm not very coordinated. I'm very tall, but not very coordinated.
Exactly. Well, neither am I, and I was not good at basketball. But you know who is good is the Harlem Globetrotters, and they're coming back to Saskatchewan in the new year. The team will be making stops in Regina and Saskatoon as part of its 100-year tour. They'll visit the Brant Centre January 6th and SaskTel Centre January 7th. Are you going to get your tickets?
I think I'm going to have to. It's always a good time.
Spin that ball. Absolutely.
Yeah.